Here is the best Joule player in the world. His name is D2 NoEyeDeer on Twitch if you want to go follow. But we're going to go watch his gameplay and we'll talk about the stuff he does in here. We'll talk about like nice tricks he does as Joule and maybe we'll learn something as well. I'm just picking up this character, so I'm not obviously the best with it. Also, the first thing I noticed, their minions are already shown on the map and they're pink or purple. Is that normal? I don't think that's normal. Something I forgot to mention. We're going to leave the audio muted because he has a really bad microphone and you constantly hear background noise in the fan and whatnot. So I don't even want to bother with that. I think that'd be pretty annoying for you all personally. So the first thing you'll notice is he drops in a place that is relatively populated that you can end up branching out to other places. So he goes to Ion Acres. From Ion Acres, you can go to Site. You can even go Chaos Steps if you have to. You can go Mana Coils. You can go Prisma. So he just goes in a nice place where you can go pretty much anywhere from. So that's pretty smart. This is pretty much the same game plan I have when I come into solo queue. I will drop somewhere that is somewhat likely to be contested, but I have a lot of options if someone ends up dropping on top of me. Obviously, levels shift into R&B, shipping your highest damage. You get 4 stacks, and then you just keep going infinite. And then R&B is easier to land than Q is. I actually noticed that he doesn't move his hotkey away from Q onto E like most players do. That's kind of weird. All right, one thing you'll notice is he uses his R&B and his E to stack up on mobs. So that way he can get his stacks faster. So you usually go like auto R&B, auto shift for a reset, and then he'll like auto Q, auto, and then shift again, obviously, for a reset. And that's how he'll farm mobs extremely quickly. Another thing you'll note is that when he's going over to these mobs, a lot of the time you won't use a shift because the distance you get from the shift is not worth it relative to the clear speed you end up losing because your shift is on cooldown when you go to the mobs. Oh, if you guys couldn't tell already, I'm going to be pretty information dense when we're talking about this, as this is somewhat a VOD review session for me as well. I'm just making a nice little VOD review session for you guys too, to pick up on tricks for Joule if you're trying to like learn Joule and whatnot. All right, so he hit level 5. He got his Masamune. He's just going to go ahead and get his weapon right now, I'd assume. Yeah, go back to base, get his weapon. Nice little blue. Vault Hunter. Stock up on potions. Vibe Infuser, that's broken. Something interesting that we don't see other players do, he actually goes for Chain Jump. Now, I've been starting to take this recently, but I really don't notice too big of a difference between any of the boots I go. They don't really impact my gameplay. And I'm sure there's like certain like small niche scenarios where one will be better than the other, but I just can't like find myself in situations where it really, really matters. Maybe we'll see why he takes Chain Jump specifically in here, but I've been trying to make Chain Jump do anything, and I haven't found a single use for it in any fight ever. If anything, well, depending on your character, it could actually screw you over because it'll make pod racing harder. So right there, you can see he lines up his R&B on the wall when he ends up shifting in here for not only a guaranteed stun, but an easy follow-up combo. So he pre-stacks his shift on the mob. Dude, why is everything blue? Wait, why is everything blue? Yo. Okay, that was weird. Let's show this one more time. So he'll pre-stack his stacks on the mob. So right here, he'll hit 6. Or technically, it's staggerable, so you can do it like that. But he uses this as a means to go in, essentially getting the reset off the bat. And then he instantly R&Bs the Celeste on the wall to not only guarantee free stacks, but also line it up so the shift is going to be more easy to hit afterward, and obviously you get the resets and you just do infinite damage, right? I actually am not a fan of the last shift he did right there. I feel like he should have saved it to follow the Celeste, like in case the Celeste has like some sort of out or something and just auto-attacked him, as it's the only way the Celeste can escape. But yeah, I will be slightly critiquing his gameplay as well, because once again, these are notes for me too, and even the top players in this game make mistakes. So he goes to the UAV here. I love to see this. Obviously, he sees a straggler, so he's just going to go run them down as another Celeste. One thing that you're going to notice a lot during this gameplay is he auto-attacks a lot. Like a lot. Your combo is technically hitting Q, auto, R&B, auto, and then you just ult. Or not ult, you shift. You can ult if you're trying to wipe an entire team. But one thing to keep in mind is that those things are pretty hard to hit on coordinated players. And a lot of the time, applying the pressure with your auto attacks and getting the stacks on enemies is just all you need to do as Joule. And so you can save your other abilities for more crucial moments. Maybe to like land a Q so you guarantee a shift, or like you force one of their shifts and so it makes your shift easier to hit, stuff like that. So leading with your abilities is often not the play. And you'll see him a lot of the time inside of this VOD actually. He actually holds onto his Q more than pretty much any other Joule I've ever seen, myself included. This is something I'm going to start picking up when I play Joule. He'll hold on to his Q for a very, very long time. I'll even call it out in the next time I see it. Next time he ends up holding his Q during the middle of a fight. I've seen him go like entire fights without using it, just holding it the whole time. Because it's there as mental pressure, but also you can use it to react if like an enemy is stuck in a position or they end up using their shift, you can guarantee, not necessarily guaranteed, but almost guaranteed hit one. Another thing he does a lot is you'll notice him weaving autos between everything he does. So every time you R&B, you want to be autoing. You want to auto R&B, auto. So that's 3 stacks right there. If you're queuing, you want to Q, auto. So that's 3 stacks right there, right? And if you hit an R&B with that, then that's 4 stacks, right? Every time you're shifting through them, you want to be autoing, so they already have 1 stack on them. Even when you ult, you want to be autoing, because that'll apply a stack too. So here he leads with Q, that's a guaranteed R&B, and then it's just a nice clean combo from there. Not really too much to say. It's very clean. That's your standard combo, by the way. If you ever end up hitting it, we talked about that a little bit earlier. You go Q, auto, R&B, auto, and then you shift through, and then you use the orb. He's going to ult here and follow it. Yep. Ult to follow it. So if you didn't know, if you played Joule in the past, actually 2 interactions there. So they actually changed Joule's ultimate. Well, technically this is a global change, but when you're in the air over here and you end up glidering, you can actually be hit down. So technically your best way of escaping is going to be going to any direction and like landing on the ground rather than gliding at the top, which used to be the old method of escaping. Also, the second thing is your shift actually has infinite verticality, which means you can hit people in the air like you see right there. Just something I thought I'd point out. So if you see someone super high in the air and they're like fully stacked or whatever, they're using like a jump pad to escape. If you can line them up, which is somewhat difficult to do because of how verticality is so cringe in this game, you can actually hit them and kill them because of it. Which is a nice little trick. Here's two-way tunneler. So here you can see a little bit of the use of the change up. He actually gets over the wall. The double-heighted wall. What is the name of that? High ground? Yeah, high ground. The high ground wall. Okay, yeah, it gets over the high ground wall. But outside of that, and especially with how rare that is to actually do, I'm not sure if I want to run the chain jump personally. I mean, I'll keep trying it just because he does it. And honestly, like Soul Drain and Meditation don't really get any value anyway. Like, they're kind of fake value, right? You use a chain jump again here, but you could have easily just stepped on this and then stepped over here, and it would have been not even like half a second slower. Buys the GA. Somewhat surprised by that. So we see him caught into the wall. He shifts forward. You're going to see a lot of shifting forward because one of the big things about Joule right now is your cooldowns on shift is so low. If you have a singular CDR item, I think her shift is like a 6.4 second cooldown or something like that. And with 2, it's 5.1, I think. And he has 2 currently. So every time he's shifting in, he'll have it up extremely quickly. You can't be punished like that. But also, you can R&B someone. And if you can R&B someone into the wall, you get the stun, and then you'll get the guaranteed orb, and then you'll use that to follow up. And there's a fight right now, so I'll talk about that afterward. You can see he's just like right now applying a little pressure with autos. He sees multiple teams, so he doesn't really want to engage. But we'll see if he lands combo. So right now you can see Indian Spy. That's pretty funny. You'll see what I was talking about in terms of not using his Q pretty much at all. This entire fight, he's not using Q, right? He still doesn't use Q. All right. Misplay it there, obviously. Don't go for the edge against the Jhin and you kill him. And honestly, probably should have used Q at that point, but you can see what I mean about the fact that he's just not using his Q. He's just not using his Q in these fights. He's saving it for more pivotal moments, which, given how hard it is to land the Q, I think is a correct play. Kind of bailed out right here by the fact that he's 4-stacking. It is what it is. Oh, bailed out again? Let's see. He actually messed up there. He didn't go through the orb, so he actually would not have killed him, I don't think. Because he was only 3 stacks, or potentially might not have killed him. Yeah, 3. Yeah. He didn't go through the orb. So if that didn't end up killing, he would have been dead. A little bit lucky there. Happens. All right, we see over here the Shrapnel Soul being contested. Obviously, he's going to go over to that. He's strongest player in the lobby right now. Has double red weapons whenever he decides to. Boss is staggerable. He tries to stagger it. Isn't quite able to hit it. And you can see Joule just has so much safety when diving in. Even without like the resets, she's just able to go in. And then even if she's caught, she can R&B to get an orb, to get her shift back. She can ult immediately. And yes, your ult can be stopped by other people's CC. If they have CC, like a Kingpin, for example, or like an Oath ultimate, if you end up shifting in their face, they will go for those slams. And it will stop your ultimate. But you can see in that case, the enemy had no CC characters, so he can actually just go in like that and just completely disrespect them. And there's nothing they can do about it. Unless you have hard CC, you actually can't stop the Joule ult from coming out. So he's done 15k damage so far. That's pretty good. The shifting 40 sees last, hits R&B. Pretty standard combo. You just go in. Oh, unfortunate. One thing you can do is if you're pretty close to the bishop when she ults, you actually have your shift goes faster than her initial windup. He just goes up on an accident and then killed the Celeste right as soon as she got out of the ultimate. Oh my god. That's pretty funny. Nice patience. A little bit mistimed on the R&B there, I think, but ooh, a really good player actually. So what he does is when he goes into the abyss, instead of like gliding and whatnot, he'll use his ultimate to be able to get back onto land. That's something a lot of Joule players need to do. You need to be using your ult to get back onto lands. You can chase into abyss, just make sure you don't glider, make sure you just use your ult instead. You can even shift into the abyss and you're still safe because you have your ultimate. Your autos do so much damage. He just did like 60% of that guy's HP just auto attacking him. Actually pretty crazy. For such a stack reliant character, I feel like she does so much damage outside of her stacks. Like her stacks, if you stack someone up, you just one-tap them anyway. It's so weird. But he is also extremely snowballed right now. Double red weapons, something to keep in mind. Also level 15. A lot of the players he's fighting are under-leveled right now. Okay, he missed the... Dude, I feel like I watched that happen like twice in a row. Alright, let's skip ahead to him getting rezzed. Oh, wait. Yeah, what he does over here is he ends up stacking on the mobs and Koba so he can run through them. Now, be careful when you're doing this, because if it is daytime and you hit someone, you will get aggro of the guards, but you can hit mobs and Koba mobs as well. The Koba guards, that is, in order to move around the map faster. You'll see him like auto R&B, auto, and then shift through a mob in order to move faster. Yeah, he's going to do it here, right? Yeah. So that's something you can do as you're moving to actually go forward faster around the map. All right, 5 teams left. You can skip forward until... Oh, never mind. Fighting right now. I think he tried to shift through the mob there to get the reset, but didn't quite get it. But you can see his shift is a 4-second cooldown right now. With Masamune and the other one at red. Nice little R&B there. He's just going crazy right now. Holy resets. This character is absolutely insane. By far most broken solo queue character right now. And it's not even close. It's not even close. You can see just like... He's just going so crazy mode. Infinite resets. He feels so safe going to any of these fights because he knows he has the shift invuln. He knows he has his ultimate as a backup. His R&B to get another orb. Looking for the stragglers over here. He knows he's safe. Even over the abyss. Yep, he can just ult like that. Yep. If you ever get in trouble, just ult. These cooldowns are just way too low. Maybe that's what they need to nerf on this character. Maybe they need to make the cooldowns longer. Because this is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Like, the fact that you can get away with double tech is a little bit ridiculous, too. Yep, just spamming autos. Getting shift off. Pretty clean gameplay, outside of killing himself to Jhin twice. You can pop the Abyssal Eye and then hot swap. For those who don't know, if you want to use a power really quick, like Little Cook or something, what you can do is you can pick it up, pop it, and then just go back to whatever item you were using before that you wanted to keep. So, like, if you wanted the combat power right here, you could pop the eye and then just leave it on the ground. Jesus, resets. And then 4 come up. Dude, he's going to wipe this whole team, isn't he? Oh, he did the mistake right there. Hold on. Wait, does he live? Okay, this is the muscle memory. Hold on. We'll go back to this really quick. This is what I was talking about earlier. So you see how he ults in the air. And old Joule used to be able to glider from here. So you'll see him glider. But he gliders, and even at max height inside of his ultimate, he got insta-spiked. You can't do that escape anymore. You have to pick a direction. Okay, jump pads. Is he going to go back in? Oh, no, they're going for the res. The R&B does not give an orb off the clone? I actually did not know that. Oh, these guys are so dead. Are they not so dead? He's playing it really safe. I'm surprised he's not going in further. Really good patience on the R&B, waiting to see when the shift comes out. Some trick you can do as well as Joule. You can hold your R&B and just sit in their face and hold the R&B and see how they react. And then R&B where they react to. Because the projectile is just so fast. You can also just like disrespect them and just tap it in their face because the projectile is so fast and you can't react to it. So you have to preemptive do something. Basically, you're in the driver's seat when you get up that close and you get to R&B. Both options are good. I'm going to pick up the crown here. He actually has the eye available right now. This is a little bit of a mistake to go for the portal right there instead of popping the eye first. Because there could have been a team on him. He could have gotten punished for that. But it's solo queue. Obviously, he's not going to play 100% optimally. Not trying his hardest right now, I'd imagine. No, I say it's solo queue, but he's force stacking. Does it count as solo queue? I don't know. But many of you guys don't feel like it's solo queue. Shift dies. The shift should be dropping GA. Yeah, oh, I did it late. Oh, well. Alright, Hudson is literally your best matchup when you're playing Joule. I'm surprised he's not just hard shifting in. Yeah. I'm surprised he's not just hard going in against these guys. Look at this. No resets on his shift, by the way, and he's still just shifting forward constantly. Ooh. That was a really nice or I won't even say predict. I don't even know what you'd call this. This is a good read. Because the shift obviously has to get away, otherwise he's going to get stacked. So he's forced to go to the dagger. And he knows that. And he preemptive aims his shift over at the dagger. Ooh, that was pretty clean. That was pretty clean. I'm stealing that one. I'm stealing that one. Lust wall is actually pretty annoying if you're playing Joule. Nice little stuff into the wall over here. Wait, that was last? Oh, I didn't realize the game was over. Okay. Well, I guess hopefully you learned something from that. That was actually a really fast game. The biggest takeaways I have from here are that this guy just constantly shifts in and then uses R&B to get his reset. And that's pretty much how you play Joule right now. She's pretty degenerate. Just shift in, use R&B to get your reset. If you don't hit your R&B, skill issue, because the projectile comes out so fast, there's basically zero counterplay. If you really have to, just hold it. And then, yeah, I said I would link the guy's thing. It's D2 NoEyeDeer. Go ahead and check him out. Give him love. Don't forget his microphone's a little bit scuffed. So something to keep in mind. Actually, recently, I believe he played in... These are KR Legends scrims. So you guys can check those out to see high elo gameplay. I didn't want to watch these on stream because they're a little bit slow tempo. And so they're not as fun. You can see a little bit of how a high elo plays. I mean, these are fairly similar to our scrims where like the game's just going to be slowed down a lot. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. Yup.